Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of What Matters with me, Erica Lita. And today I have on a special guest, Takia Prentice-Cupid. She's here with me from TK Natural Hair Wigs, and we're going to have a wonderful discussion today. First of all, we will be introducing her business where she makes natural hair wigs for women of color who are facing hair loss or simply just want a different look. She also has clip-ins. We're going to be addressing the topic of hair shaming, hair bullying. We will talk about 3 essential tips to take care of natural hair, and we will also discuss a bit about the causes of hair loss. So I think this will be a very, very interesting edition of What Matters, and it applies to both men and women, whereas both do experience hair loss, and also too for the men out there that are watching or have women in their lives that are affected by this, maybe you can pass on some information. So after the break, I will be back with Takia, and she's going to show us some amazing, amazing innovation that she's made with natural hair wigs. See you in a minute.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Good evening, and we're back, and we are here with Takia.
Hi.
So, Takia, you are the founder, the CEO, the visionary, the mastermind behind TK Natural Hair Wigs.
Yes, I am.
Amazing. And so I actually met her, it was actually our anniversary not too long ago as well. I found the picture. So I was networking within Toronto before I got here, and this lovely young lady was one of the people that I had met through networking, and I found out that she did wigs because I had just done a project in Montreal with another wig maker that collected natural hair, Caucasian hair, for making wigs for children with cancer. And I was reaching out to see if there was anyone in the GTA that did the same, and I connected with you. And we actually met up one day when I came to Toronto. We met up, we had lunch, I believe it was.
Yep,
we had a
we
little
did.
snack, but the vibe was real, and I very, very much believe in vibes. That's like my slogan. And her positivity, her energy, her willingness to help, her good heart, but also her massive skill was what really, really impressed me, because it's all well and good to have great intentions, but they have to be properly executed, right?
Agreed. Yeah.
So now that I've given them a little bit of how I know you, I would love you to tell us how you started on this journey to make natural hair wigs, which was something that I didn't even think existed before.
Yeah. So my journey is quite a long one, but I won't get into full detail. But essentially what started it was I was always really good at hairstyling, and natural hair was one of the first things that I learned how to do in terms of styling. And one day, about 3 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to make her a wig, and the challenge was to make something that was affordable because she was going through alopecia. She had alopecia pretty much all over her body, so she didn't have any arm hair, any eyebrows, no hair on her head.
Okay, let me interrupt you. Can you explain to our audience what alopecia is?
Absolutely. So alopecia is an autoimmune deficiency in the body, and sometimes it's topical, but it's basically a degree of hair loss. It can start at really, really small parts throughout your head, and it can go as far as you losing all your hair off of your body. So sometimes people going through it are mistaken for chemo patients because just how severe the hair loss can be. So my friend had the extreme case, so she didn't have any hair on her body. So after I made the wig, she's like, girl, this is mad cute. So she took a couple of pictures. She's like, we need to put this on Facebook. She got her makeup done, everything. And then as soon as we put on Facebook, my DMs were like beeping, like, oh my God, girl, that's really nice. Can you make me one? And then after, I'm like, okay, maybe I should do a business out of this. And the thing is that I realized because I make all of my wigs from scratch. I purchased all the materials, everything, and I would receive bundles to create them. But it was like the foundation of me creating my custom wig business. So from there, I decided that when I started it, that I wanted to give back to people going through chemo and alopecia. So as a result, I reserved 20% of my sales to help people in those conditions. And also like losing my grandma to cancer as well kind of really showed me that there was a need, especially for women of color. As there's essentially no options available for in terms of organizations that sponsor wigs for people going through hair loss. And even people going through alopecia, they don't get insurance coverage for it. So
no, really?
Yeah. Me offering them sponsorship, whether that's from 50% off to a complimentary wig, really goes a long way. Especially people want to have a natural looking wig without, being gawked at because of their condition. So
exactly. I mean, when feeling good and looking good go hand in hand, and when you believe you look good, you feel much better, and not sticking out in that way, it really changes their outlook and how they feel. Because as you said, the wigs for women of color are very hard to come by, and what we would end up more is with straight wigs, or wigs that were then curled after or permed severely, to put it lightly, to mimic that curl, the natural kink of our hair. So I think that, that idea of, it's not just vanity, looking like you blend in, looking like you fit, not having people say to you, oh, are you sick, or knowing you're sick just by looking at you. It makes a tremendous difference in how you move through the world. And for you to donate part of your profit and part of what you do so early in your business is tremendous. And actually, speaking of that, entrepreneur life, which has been the basis of a lot of our conversations. Anisha, if you don't mind playing that first clip from the vlog.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jody Ann, also known as I Go By Jo, and this is the E Project. Let's start the show. I had to tell myself that, because it was getting hard, it was getting very difficult, because I was finding that I was losing more than I was gaining. But as an entrepreneur, you shouldn't expect to make profit in the first 3 years. So just keeping that in mind.
The first 3 years,
Yeah, the first 3 to 5 years, you shouldn't expect to make profit. But I had to tell myself that it's an investment. That's what I had to tell myself. I'm investing in my business because you can easily be discouraged and think that it's an expense and it's, just weighing you down. But you have to, because at the end of the day, you have to leave a positive impact on your clients, because those people are going to be your return customers. Those people are going to talk about you.
Hey guys, don't forget to share, rate, like, and subscribe on Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, Castbox, Stitcher, and Apple Podcasts. Thanks again for tuning in.
So that little clip was you discussing your journey in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And as I was saying before we played the clip, to me it is amazing that right out the bat that you donate part of your profit to women with cancer, women with alopecia, but then also to be able to sponsor, to donate. That's tremendous because it basically comes out of your pocket, right?
Yeah, essentially, and it's all based on the sales that I earn, right? So if I have a good month, it's helpful because then it can give somebody a good percentage off. But what I do, regardless of the profit, is I have a set discount for people going through that condition, depending on how severe. So at least with my 50% mark, my supply costs are covered, right? So then it just would be I wouldn't be getting any profit, but I would be at least getting my production costs covered.
Right.
So my goal is to at least partner with a cancer organization or a hair loss organization to have my initiative extend to them, so then at least my supply costs could be covered from the donations that they receive, so that it can go to people in need. So that's kind of my goal. But for now, I don't mind because at the end of the day, I see the impact that it makes on people's lives, and just knowing that I can help somebody. Because when you're going through something like chemotherapy, it can be very financially straining. And a lot of people just can't afford it. And even with the wigs that I offer, they are human hair wigs, so it's not really affordable for the everyday person. For someone that has to rely on them, it's quite essential that I do what I do. So
that is amazing. And something you just mentioned about if you're going through chemo, it's not affordable. And I think something that a lot of people who haven't experienced this or have someone close to them experience this, it's the cost of not working while this is going on. A lot of times you lose your income. Even if they hold your job for you, you're no longer working. Insurance runs out quickly. Not all medications covered, not even here in Canada. Alternative treatments as well are not covered, extra help and so forth. So as you said, the costs really add up. And to have something, I think that the word accessory might be a little bit too lighthearted because it's far deeper than that. Something that makes you feel more like yourself is so fundamental. And again, I have to commend you, and I'm sure our audience does as well, for doing what you do. And for any bigger companies out there that are watching, and if you do sponsor cancer patients or have any positions in the hospital, this is a lady that has a product for a segment of the population who is greatly affected. And that partnership, I would love to see that come to fruition. Now, aside from the full wigs that you make, I know you have a full line of products. I mean, I've seen you at vendor shows before. I've seen you rocking your own stuff, and the array is absolutely amazing. And Takia's information is going to be posted under her name, how to contact her, all of her sites on all the different social media. But one of the things that I find so fascinating are your clip-ins.
Yeah, I love those. They're very popular. Yeah, for sure.
So tell us a little bit how they work.
Yeah, so my clip-ins are thebomb.com, and I only say that. I'm not biased or anything, but I just say
I'm reinforcing
I
this.
just say it because I wish I provided you guys with pictures of like the difference between me wearing clip-ins and not wearing them. But
and she's gonna post them on the link after the show.
Exactly, I got you covered. But yeah, like our clip-ins customizable. You can color them to match your hair. As you can see, I'm always coloring my hair, but I love them because for me, like I find that it gives me the length and the volume that I'm always trying to achieve. Because like as much as I love like my hair, it doesn't. I don't have hang time. You feel me? So with my clip-ins, it gives me that, and also it gives a little bit of oomph, like for somebody that may have fine hair, which is great. So usually, like the feedback I get is, "Oh my gosh, like my hair looks much fuller."
Exactly, and natural. It blends well. It blends so well.
Yeah.
So when we get back from the break, we are going to be touching on some other very important topics. One of the ones I really do want to get to is the hair shaming. And we are going to talk, there are 3 tips that she has for us to take care of, just 3 tips to take care of your natural hair and more. We'll be back right after this break.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity in our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Hi everyone, I am back with Takea from TK Natural Hair Wigs. Now, wait, you also have TK Naturals.
Yes, that's my Instagram page.
That's your Instagram?
It's like a styling and lifestyle page.
Okay, so I just wanted to be sure because I'm like, which name am I using?
Yeah.
The woman has so much going on. So we are back, and I know that you can see in the front. I really wish that we had touch vision because if you could touch this wig, it is so like it feels like the most luxurious hair that you've ever put your hands in, and it's all natural, right?
Yeah. It's all natural.
So
human hair.
We're gonna, okay, it's exciting to me, that's why I'm distracted, but we will get back to that in a moment. So for this segment, something that I really want to touch on, and I think to some degree, most of us have been guilty of doing something in this realm. We're gonna speak about hair shaming. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm gonna let you define what hair shaming is.
Okay. So hair shaming is basically disrespecting or just putting someone down because of the appearance of their hair, mm-hmm. whether they're wearing a wig or if their hair isn't as done up as you would expect. That's kind of what hair shaming is, and a lot of people, like me included, can be guilty of it, not even realizing it. And it's important to be mindful because you never know, like especially if it's in terms of a wig, you never know what someone's hair looks like underneath that mm-hmm. wig. They may be someone going through hair loss. They may be someone with cancer. So it's just important to be mindful of some of the things that you say. Because growing up in a Caribbean household, I hear it all. Because they're very traditional. Like my grandpa's from Barbados. I love him dearly. But sometimes I'd get comments like, do you unite? What's that on your head? Like that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And I just embrace him with love. But it's just people just don't realize like how hurtful it can be, especially to someone's self-esteem. So
yeah, mm-hmm. I agree. I know that coming from the Caribbean culture as well, they can be very sharp with
yep.
their tongues and a little bit unforgiving. And people talk about their natural hair journey, and I don't feel that I had one so much as I just stopped perming my hair one day, and this was a long time ago. I stopped perming my hair way before it was trendy and in and cool. So as I was telling you before, there wasn't products. There wasn't like all the products that they have now. You really had to wing it and figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
And my mom, I remember when I told her I was going to stop perming my hair, and my mother was like, "Well, then what are you going to do with your hair?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Just let it grow out of my head." She's like, "Well, you're going to grow locks. And I'm like, well, no, I'm not growing locks simply because I like to change my hair too much. So locks wouldn't work for me because I'd have to cut off all my hair again.
Yeah.
And she was outraged. She was really not happy with this decision. And it made me realize how deeply rooted this was.
It's very deeply rooted, yeah.
And the reason I decided to stop perming my hair was simply because my hair looked the same whether I permed it or not. Once I blow dried it, it looked exactly the same. So I wondered, why go through the pain? This can't be good for you to do something to your hair and it hurts and it burns you and you end up with scabs. So I, used my common sense and stopped doing that. But the I don't know if backlash is too big of a word, but the backlash I felt from my own community, from people close to me, was tremendous until it looked okay to them.
Interesting.
And then it was like, oh, well, she looks okay. You can't really tell it's not permed until I started wearing it curlier, but that's another story.
Yeah.
But even saying, admitting that I've been guilty of the hair shaming too, where, oh, well, her hair don't grow, or look at your edges, or, the very mean, derogatory things we will say to other people, other women, and even with men.
Yeah.
And that's something I want
That's
to ask
another
you
episode.
It's another episode altogether, for real. But I want to ask you, I would love to see you making those pieces for men. I find them fascinating.
Yeah.
You will see the videos
in the
all
future,
over
hopefully.
Facebook. And, then I read the comments, and I'm really surprised at how negative the majority of them are, especially coming from a community that loves to change its hair as much as we do.
Yeah.
I mean, part of the reason that I wear extensions and so forth is just I like different colors and textures and styles and lengths, and I can't do it all with my hair. So, I use what's out there. But to see a man, and you see in the video, his self-esteem go up, just from looking at the pictures.
That's
and,
it.
You have a man that's in his 30s or maybe 40s, but he looks like he's in his 50s or 60s because his hair is gone.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
they do that magic stuff. I don't know if you know what it is, but some kind of magic business they do.
It ain't magic.
And it looks like magic. And, he has a fade. I've seen it with the locks. I've seen with the fade on this. Amazing, amazing. And then the comments is, well, if you're like that, just stay like that. And, just very negative. And I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. And if it makes you feel better about yourself and it gives you that self-esteem, then why not do it?
Exactly.
Yeah,
and just touching on that, I love how you brought in a conversation about men, because men now, I'm finding, are slowly starting to accommodate extensions into their hair routine. And there's something called hair replacement. What do you call them? Hair replacement lace frontals. They're basically what men use. Yeah, it's what men use to mimic the appearance of hair, so that when they cut it down, it blends seamlessly with their own hair. And that's what men with hair loss have been using. And some of what I've been seeing online, because there are barbers and hairstylists that specialize in them. I want to tap into that too. So maybe that's gonna come in the future. But there are people that specialize in them, and what it basically requires an adhesive. So you have to completely shave the head clean in the area you want to attach it, and then you apply it with an adhesive, and then you can style it and do whatever to it, and it looks natural. And I've seen some of the comments on posts like that saying, oh, I wouldn't be with my man if he wore a weave and that kind of stuff. Man weave, that's a joke. But at the end of the day, men have feelings too. You know what I mean? Men want to look confident too. And we should, instead of really getting instead of kind of encouraging the flame and kind of just bashing men and putting them down because of that, we should uplift them and say that, you know what, this is giving them confidence. You can actually see it from the moment that they don't have the hair to when they actually do. It's not that they're trying to look like anything that they're not. They're just trying to look like a different version of themselves. The best version of themselves, right? And that's it. And
I mean, as women, we do that as well, right?
That's it.
This is why, my hair has blonde streaks in it, and her hair's purple, and it's the mood, it's the season, it's
exactly,
it changes. And I think a lot of those same women making those comments, if a man had turned around and said, I wouldn't be with a woman with a weave, oh boy, that right under the bus he would go.
Woo.
So,
I hear people just tapping their weave.
yeah, there's tapping the weave, tapping the weave, tapping the weave. So, you know, I think that we have to be, it's mindfulness. And Simone and I, as Simone was leaving from her show, we were just talking in the hall, and, you know, I've done it. I have been a hair shamer. I've said mean things to other girls. I never really bought into the nice hair thing because I think that our hair's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm always telling my sons how beautiful their hair is. But I have done it. And I think that a lot of hair shaming and all types of shaming we do, part of it comes from thoughtlessness.
Yeah.
People, they're just not thinking. They're being reactive. They're being inflammatory, and they just say things without really thinking about it. Because as we will touch on when we come back, there are different reasons for hair loss, all kinds, from, you know, genetic, autoimmune, disease, stress, postpartum. Burns, exactly. So there's so many reasons why someone may not have hair, but for someone to just, to insult them,
right,
knowing or not knowing.
Yeah.
I think we just need to be more mindful of the words that we say to other people. So, like with a lot of other types of shaming, you know, mean comments, racism, homophobia, I think one of the first things that we have to do to help stop this is to say something when you see it happening.
Exactly. Like, correct it. You know, if you see somebody shaming somebody else, then approach that person and just be like, you know what, I didn't like the comment that you said.
Exactly.
And just kind of go from there. Like, that's someone's mother, that's someone's daughter, that's someone's sister. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but even more importantly, that's someone.
That's someone.
That's someone. No matter who they are related to, that's someone. So I think one of the things we can do to stop hair shaming is, one, speak up when somebody is being mean to someone else. And I think the other thing that you had mentioned was education.
Education's everything.
So understanding that there are different causes for these things, and different people go through different things, and it's not for us to judge. And if you do have something to say in terms of correction, be offering help.
Yeah.
You know,
don't just say, oh, you
look
bald.
busted.
Yeah, or you look busted. I know a great person that can make a wig.
I know this wonderful lady that can help you. Or, you know, what's your regimen or something. But if you're going to, you know, as I say, don't bring up the problem unless you have a solution in mind.
Exactly.
So when we're back from the break, we will discuss some of the causes of hair loss and those three hair care tips when we get back.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity in our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
And we're back. So this segment, I'd really like to talk about a little bit about what are the different causes of hair loss. And obviously, there are probably more than we can name, but we'll go over the ones that you're most familiar with.
Yeah, so my company focuses predominantly on cancer and alopecia hair loss, or hair loss due to chemo. So yeah, there's different, kind of like how I touched on earlier, there's different types of hair loss. Like, there's some that's autoimmune. So if there's a deficiency in your body, or you you're going through hormonal imbalances or changes, it can cause hair loss. Sometimes it can be the complete follicle that leaves, whether it's a small section of your head, it can be the full follicle, so it would be like completely bald in that area, or it can just be like that it breaks but at the base of the hair, so it's a bit fuzzy still.
Okay. If you lose the whole follicle, can it grow back?
There's a lot of the time it's pretty unlikely, but there are cases where I've seen it grow back, but it may not grow back in the full integrity that it used to be. But yeah, but if the thing is that there are types of surgeries that you can do, like hair transplants and stuff like that, as a solution in those extreme cases where it doesn't grow back. But in some or a lot of cases, actually, people just choose to live with it.
Right.
But it's a very hard thing to accept, and I've witnessed it, like with clients that I've had. Just a very difficult thing to deal with, which is why doing what I do, it makes me very happy that I can help people. But yeah, that's one of them. And then trichomania is another one. I don't even know if I pronounced that properly, but it's basically like a condition where you're pulling your hair.
Yes, I've heard of that. Well, I think it's more than a habit. But
Yeah.
it's what's the word? You cannot help yourself.
Yeah, you literally can't help yourself.
You cannot help yourself. Like
Yeah.
you will sit and pull your hair out from the roots. And
Exactly.
They will be completely bald in spots. I've heard it. I don't know how you pronounce it either, but
Yeah,
I've definitely heard of that.
I'm
as well.
pretty sure that close, but but yeah, that's another condition that can cause hair loss. And of course, chemo, which is one of the scariest options, because people going through chemo are essentially that it's the process for removing cancer cells from the body, which is a very emotional process to be going through that, plus having your hair fall out at the same time. And in all of those cases, like you can notice it by just hair shedding out of your hair, or like you losing hair in clumps.
Yes.
And yeah, those are some of the conditions. And yeah, in terms of resources available, like other than wigs, of course, you have, like I mentioned, the hair transplant surgeries, but there's also like companies that create fashionable scarves and stuff like that
Right,
people
yes.
can wear. I know that I don't know if you watched Jada Pinkett's episode on Facebook. She has like a table talk
Yes,
session, and
yeah.
she came out and spoke about her alopecia, but she was saying that she but she uses hair scarves to kind of as a styling option. So those are some of the options available as well. So yeah, and another thing too that people I find don't really touch on is hair loss due to burns. So there's people that go through burning accidents and stuff like that that can cause you to lose hair as well. So yeah, those are just different conditions.
And when it's due to burns, it doesn't grow back, right?
No,
it doesn't
Yeah.
grow back. And then you had mentioned something before, which I thought was very interesting, and because of my own personal experience, I never thought about it. But you said there's also hair loss postpartum.
Yeah, that's another thing. So yeah, hair loss postpartum. So basically, postpartum shedding is basically shedding that occurs after you've had delivered a baby. And from what I know, it predominantly concentrates in the hairline.
Okay.
And what happens is probably a few weeks after your labor, you give birth rather, you start to lose some hair. In most cases, the hair comes back and it grows back, but in some cases, it can lead to other cases of hair loss, like the ones we
Okay.
mentioned. Yeah. So I do have a client of mine that she suffered from alopecia from when she was young, and then when she had her first child, her alopecia got more severe because of the postpartum shedding. It just because like there's hormonal changes in your body that you go through when you're having a baby.
Right.
So that affects like the hair follicle in some cases as well. And another thing I forgot to mention too is traction alopecia. So
Yes.
that is more that's more caused by the person essentially just pulling too tightly on their hairline.
Yeah,
or
poor
on their
styling
hair.
techniques.
Yeah, because sometimes the person that does it may not know that they're causing traction alopecia because they've probably been with a stylist for a while and they trust their stylist with their hair, so they probably aren't aware until they start to notice it.
Right.
But in a lot of cases, it's because of wearing your weaves too tight or just wearing your braids too tight. It can cause it. But there are different ways that you can, like, I don't want to go on too long, but there are ways that you can do your weave where it doesn't pull too much. Just making sure that the hairline part is not as tight, because the hairline perimeter is the most sensitive. The hairline and the crown is predominantly the most sensitive part of the hair. So severe pulling on those places can lead to permanent hair loss. So it's just important to be mindful of it. You, like, for cases of traction alopecia, you can use products like castor oil to help bring back the hair when it's not as severe. And another thing too, where I've heard of hair loss is from chemical burns. So whether it's due to relaxers or other types of chemicals can sometimes lead to hair loss as well.
So there's a lot of different reasons that someone may have lost their hair.
Yeah.
Stress is another factor as well.
Yeah.
Stress manifests itself in so many different ways. And one that I have seen personally is seeing someone's hair drop out, literally from the stress in their life. And that's how it was affected. And when those stressors were removed, their hair grew back. So it could be for a plethora of reasons that someone doesn't have their hair. And actually, a question from my own curiosity. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but when people go through chemo, sometimes when their hair grows back after, it grows back completely different. Different color, different texture, everything.
Yep.
And when I had first heard this, I won't lie. The first person who told me this, I thought they were lying to me. I won't even lie. Like, I thought she was just pulling my leg. There was no way that she had this type of hair and now has this type. But then because of the project I did in Montreal, speaking to more and more cancer patients who, thankfully get to come out on the other side, they'll say, I was a straight, curly-haired ginger before, and now my hair is dark brown and bone straight. And does that also happen with women of color, that their hair grows back differently?
Absolutely. In cases I've heard of women of getting more coarse hair after going through chemo. So their hair, not just coarse, but like coarse and brittle. So their hair grows back, but it grows back not in the same fullness. And there is something I remember one of my clients telling me about. It's like a cap, like a hair cap that you put on your hair when you're going through chemo. Apparently it protects your hair follicles from not completely transforming after your chemotherapy. But I don't fully know completely about it, but I'm sure if you spoke to a specialist that you could be able to find out more information. But there are like kind of things that you can do to prevent your hair from getting more severe. It also, I've heard, affects your nail pigments too.
Yes.
Yeah, for some people they change color.
Yeah, they can turn black.
They can turn black. Yeah, when you're going through chemo, like it's pretty common that they turn black. But in some cases, it can be not permanently black, but the color of your nail bed could change permanently after. Yeah. So
chemo's pretty serious. I mean, it is essentially the poisoning of you in hopes that they poison enough of the bad and preserve enough of the good that you can come out on the other side. So it is a very it is a tremendous process to undergo. Yeah. And again, thinking of all these factors, all the things we just named, I think we've named at least 7 different ways and reasons you can lose your hair. So keeping that in mind, again, if you see someone who their hair isn't as tight as it should be or could be, you see them wearing a wig that, I've heard the phrase dusty wig so many times, and I'm sorry, it does make me laugh. Instead of just insulting them, how about offering some help? Give them direction, point them, towards a professional, towards a product that has helped you, because sometimes all someone needs is a little bit of help to do better, and sometimes they truly don't know. Like before I met you, I had no idea that there were natural hair wigs that were available for women of color. So now what I'd like to know, so you told us a bit about hair loss.
Yeah.
Now we are going to discuss how to have your hair grow healthy and strong, but what I am curious about, and I've had to be quiet about this for 20 minutes, is this wig. Okay, guys, if you could touch this, if you could only touch, you have no idea how amazing it feels. So
I use these products in it, by the way.
You use these products, okay. So before we go through the products one by one, because I do want to go through these, Can you tell me, okay, this is all natural hair?
This is all natural hair. It's not naturally afro textured, but it is human hair.
Okay, so this is human hair, and then how do you afro texture? I'm going away.
How do you afro
Anisha's
texture
going to
it?
kill me because I keep leaving. I'm all excited. I'm
That's
leaving
okay.
my microphone. Okay.
So yeah, the supplier that makes these textures for me, they put the hair through a steam process. Basically, what happens is the hair comes straight, it typically comes straight or wavy, and then they put tight little rollers around it to permanently alter.
We actually have the video that you sent me about that. We have a video for that. But I'm going to play it when we get back from the break because we're getting close to that. So she'll explain it first, and when we come back, I will play it for you. So this is natural hair that was straight.
Yes.
And then they steam curl it.
Yeah.
To achieve this look. I don't know if when we come back from the break we could turn it around so you could see the back of it. It is so gorgeous, and it's this amazing, very natural dark brown. You see the different colors in it, the highlights. It looks very alive. I can't describe it better than that. It look like you would never see this on someone's hair and go, what a lovely wig she has on.
Exactly. And that's the point.
Exactly. And that's the point. And so how long does something like this take you to make?
So my processing time starts from getting the product in and then creating the product and then delivering it or shipping it or having the client pick it up. It takes about 2 weeks. Okay. So it takes me a full day, a day or two maybe to make it. If the client requests styling, like this client did, because this isn't the true curl. It's actually literally an afro that I twisted up overnight and then untwisted, kind of like our own hair.
Okay, so twist out.
I did a twist out on the wig.
That's amazing.
Exactly. So yeah, if the client requests styling, then that can add a bit more time, or color, that could add a bit more time as well. So it does start at 2 weeks minimum.
Okay, so ladies, you could, and gentlemen, because she is going to be on the man thing just now.
Yes,
give her 2 seconds.
into my life.
You can specify your color, you can specify your texture, you can specify your length too, right?
Yeah, exactly. It comes up to between 10 to 20 inches, 22 inches.
Absolutely. TK Natural Hair Wigs. When we come back, we are going to show you a little bit of the process of how it's made, discuss these products, and give you those 3 tips for taking care of your natural hair. We'll be back after the break.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity in our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Time is going too quickly. So as I was saying before the break, this wig that I'm fascinated with, I cannot imagine it being done justice on film. You'd have to touch it. You'd have to see it. It is so beautiful in person live, and that's where people are going to see it on your head in person. And Takia was just going over the process of making it, but she was kind enough because of all of her vast experience and all of the things she's been doing over the years, she's been kind enough to send us another clip. So Anisha, if you would please play the second clip of Takia making the wigs and talking a bit about it.
Same representation.
Takia Prentice-Cupid hand makes wigs for women undergoing cancer treatments. She specializes in giving women back the look of their natural locks. Difficult, she says, when the majority of donated hair is Caucasian smooth ponytails.
So this is typically what the hair looks like before it's processed. And then what my supplier does is they steam curl it. So they put like tiny little curls into the hair to make it become like this, and then eventually graduate to something like this.
She says it's a necessary process for two reasons: that natural wigs for Black women who are cancer patients are hard to come by, and that many women of color don't realize that they can donate their hair.
It would definitely help if more people were donating their textured hair.
Because feeling like yourself is vital to women going through cancer treatments. Diagnosed with breast cancer, Lilia has already undergone chemotherapy and will be starting radiation. She says the confidence these wigs create is immeasurable.
As more and more women of color speak about their cancer experience, I think that more and more Black women will rise to the occasion to donate their natural hair as well.
And for Takia, each strand that she stitches is her way of giving these women back a little piece of.
So there was a little clip of Takia making the wigs and one of her clients trying them on, and she just shared a little bit of information with me that client said that hair reminded her of her mom. And when she wore that wig, it made her feel more connected to her mother. And, you know, people go into business, you know, the bottom line of business, that's what a business is to make money. Mm-hmm. But when you have a mission that is higher, when you value helping people above making a dollar, as they always say, the money will come.
Exactly.
And as Takia just said, you can't put a price on that. The reward, the payment for that, for having someone feel connected to their mother, or someone looking at you and saying, you've changed my life. Mm-hmm. Things are different for me now. You can't put a price on that. And,
nope.
You know, your heart is so big for this, and I felt that from the day that I met you. And it's just been wonderful watching you grow and continue and persevere and carry on. And I want to thank you on behalf of our whole community for doing what you do and for spearheading this, because it is tremendous. So for this last little part, I want you to tell us, I can't stop looking at this one. I want you to tell us about these 3 essential steps to taking care of natural hair. So instead of 50 million steps and 6 hours of your life, it is not that complicated. So anybody out there that still, you know, is rocking their perm and you're thinking about going natural, which would really be returning to natural,
or even if you are relaxed,
it doesn't have to be complicated. You do not need to be a product junkie, and I will give it to the professional to tell us how to do this.
Yeah. So I know we touched on a lot about what I do for people going through hair loss and my wig business. But in addition to that, I'm also a natural hairstylist. So I do work out of a salon space in Yorkville. It's called Azan Salon, where I practice what I love every week. So I get a lot of questions from clients, people that I follow on my YouTube channel or on social media. They ask me, how do I take care of my hair? I don't know what to do. So there are many different ways to take care of your hair, but 3 fundamental things that are important is regular deep conditioning, moisturizing products, as well as protecting your hair properly at night. So to kind of touch on them, deep conditioning, I always stress for people that watch me on Instagram Live every Thursday, I always say deep condition, deep condition, deep condition, because it's key, especially if you have naturally curly hair. The reason why it's important is because our hair has a very difficult time retaining moisture. So our hair produces moisture just like every other hair type. But what happens is before it reaches our follicle, it could dry out. So deep conditioning it's really great for the hair because with the heat attached to the product you're using, it opens up those cuticles to deposit the product in. And it allows that product to leave your hair shiny and healthier. And moisturizing products are key. So now if you are not natural, if you are of a different background than the Black community, then you can still benefit from this information. So moisturizing products, it all comes down to the porosity of your hair. I don't want to get too scientific with you, but porosity is just basically the hair's ability to absorb moisture. So if you have low porosity hair, it's usually afro textured hair is low porosity. It just means that your hair has a hard time holding on to moisture. So you're gonna want to use moisturizing products with aloe, honey, shea, and argan oil, those kinds of things. And if your hair is medium porosity, it means that it has a good time absorbing moisture. You probably find that putting too much on it can weigh it down.
Right.
Then you want to use more lightweight oils or products like coconut oil. You can still use argan oil. You could also use rosemary oil, stuff like that.
Okay.
And if your hair is high porosity, it's usually damaged. So if your hair is recovering from bleaching or other cases of damage, then you have to definitely do regular protein treatments. So treatments that use protein, whether it's eggs, avocado, mayonnaise. Yes, you can use mayonnaise. You can get it out of your fridge and put it in your hair. Just mix it with some conditioner so it can smell a little bit good. And you can use that. I recommend staying with these treatments for a minimum of 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
And if you have less time than that, then that's fine. And then also protecting your hair at night. So I love to wear a satin scarf. I know a lot of people will tell me, oh, my satin scarf falls off. That's okay. There are satin pillowcases.
Yes, there
that
are.
Exist. So it not only is it great for your hair, but it's great for your skin. So if you have dry skin, then you can definitely benefit from using satin on your pillow as a pillowcase. So just using that to protect your hair is really good, because what happens is it doesn't cause friction between your pillow and your hair. Right. It's a really nice soft material, so your hair, it's not going to encourage split ends and breakage and that kind of stuff.
Slides.
It'll just slide, and it's really smooth on the skin too. So using a satin pillow at night, or if satin scarves fall off your head, you can try a satin bonnet. Just make sure that the rim is not cotton. Just make sure that you get the rim that's satin as well. Because sometimes they sell like they are cheaper, but it's gonna rip out your hairline. I'm just saying, trust me. So just use one that has a satin band around it. As well. So yeah, those are my 3 tips. They're 3 tips that you can take with you throughout your hair routine. There are other things that you could try depending on your hair texture, the type of hair that you have, to improve it. If you want to learn more, obviously stay in touch with me and we can go from there. But yeah, those are 3 tips that anybody can take.
Can use. And to expand on one of those tips, something amazing that I found out a couple years too late, because my daughter was already grown, but if you have a little girl on her car seat in the back, put a satin, a square of satin, a satin pillowcase, so when she's laying in her car seat and rubbing the back of her head, it doesn't all rub out, which I'm sure we've all seen.
Good tip.
Now, you had said, I love that wig. You have said, I was just so delighted by it. It doesn't take much for me. You had said that these are the products that you used for this one, right?
Yeah.
And these are products that you highly recommend, right?
Yeah.
This is why they're here. So just tell us a bit about them.
Yep. So this is from a line called Curl Shop. They're based in Canada. They are a curly hair product line, all natural, a lot of sulfate free. Their products are really great. They have 3 lines currently. So they have a line for men. They have a line for They have a line for men. They have a line for kinky, low porosity hair, and they have a line for curly and wavy textures as well, which is really great, because I find that line, it's more lightweight, so people again that have medium porosity that can't have too much weight on their hair, that works really good for them. I personally use those 2 lines, this line and the coconut line, which is the lightweight one, for my wigs. I find that they're very moisturizing, and you can use them for styling and cleansing of the hair, because for the wigs that we sell, we recommend co-washing. So it's just wash, like a conditioner wash. This is a co-wash right here from the line. the conditioner wash is more gentle on the hair, so it doesn't cause it to dry out as fast. And yeah, in terms of moisturizing it, if you wear it daily, you can moisturize and retwist it, or just wash and go, like literally just wash it and go. You can do that like twice a month, or as needed, and you can daily spritz with water and go about your day. So that's pretty much what I use. You can also use them on your own hair. So if you're looking for a new curly hairline, this one is it for sure. We use them at my salon, and it's amazing. I've seen it work on like super wavy hair to super afro textured hair, like perfectly. So.
And now, before we go, because unfortunately we have to go.
No.
But I know I wanted to stay too. We would like to know, because I know the audience wants to know too, how do we donate to such a tremendously worthy cause? How do we connect with TK Natural Hair Wigs? How do we donate to the cause? How do we facilitate somebody going through chemo or suffering from alopecia? How do we help them get hold of a natural wig made by you? How do we do this?
Great question. So we take monetary as well as hair donations on my website. So when you enter my website, there's always a donation link at the top, so you can make a donation as small as $5 and up. As well, there are different organizations. If you want to specifically cater to women of color, there's the Olive Branch of Hope organization. They are based in Toronto as well. You can just easily Google the handle of their name and find them. As well as check out the Cancer Society website, because they're always updating with different organizations that support women with hair loss. Sadly, I wasn't able to find any organizations that help women going through alopecia based in Canada. But there are organizations in the US. I can't name them off the top of my head, but doing a simple Google search is key. And usually companies take hair or monetary donations, primarily monetary donations. Now, if you do want to donate your afro or curly textured hair to me, I would gladly accept it, because I'm always looking. So you can send that to me. I can give you my email. It's just info.tknhwigs@gmail.com, and we can get connected.
Absolutely, and that will appear at the bottom of the screen. You'll always see our contact info, and we will put in under the show, we'll put in links and comments and any other information that you may feel you'd like to have. Please ask questions. Thank you so much, Takia, for joining us today. Thank you for sharing the wonderful things that you do. The community thanks you, and please connect with her if you know someone who can use her help, or if you need the help yourself or just more information, don't hesitate to connect. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of What Matters here on TCN, and I will see you again next Tuesday at 6.